Today I'm going to be checking out this roof rack that was sent to me so I can do this review. Let me get it out of the box, let you see everything it comes with, and then get it installed on this car. All right, so this is all the items out of the box, and it's everything you need to get this thing set up on a car or truck, whatever it fits. It does have a set of keys too, so once you get it all set up, you can lock that thing down, not have to worry about somebody stealing your bars. The whole process looks pretty straightforward in the manual, so I'm going to go ahead and get to it. So when you get to the point where you need to put this plastic foot here on this carriage bolt, what I found was when you try to put the nut on it, the carriage bolt keeps wanting to go up and then it just spins. So if you get a flathead screwdriver, like I got this small flathead screwdriver, I just stuck it in that little groove there between the hinge and the head of this bolt. So now when I have the foot and the little metal, washer, binder, whatever you want to call that, you put that screwdriver on the head of that bolt, and I used my thumb to hold that metal plate, and then I screwed on the nut. Now once you get the nut threaded on, at least by hand, this is a 10mm nut, and then you can just get a 10mm socket. Keep the screwdriver in there so it can hold down that carriage bolt head to make sure it stays in that square, and then you can tighten up that 10mm nut right there with your socket. Now you don't want to go super tight. You want to just do tight enough where this still kind of flexes a little bit, because you want it to be able to mold to your roof. If you put it too tight, it may lean to one side or the other. So, adjust it where it's nice and snug, but you can still move this with your fingers, because once you strap it down and tighten it, it's going to hold that in place anyway. So now that I've got the nut and the carriage bolt and everything lined up, now I can put the rubber boot on this foot. So this is here to secure it better on your vehicle. It's going to grab onto your paint better. It's going to keep it from scratching. It's just going to give it that extra protection and stability that it's going to need to hold it well. And again, if you don't over tighten this, you can still adjust this foot the way you need it. So I'm going to get this done and we're going to put them on the roof. All right, so when you get to the point of putting on these brackets here with these chrome straps, stainless steel straps, first you have to decide which one you're going to use. Now I tried this one here, which is just this J shaped one, the J hook kind, and it doesn't hook really good, at least I don't think so, on their door, because when you shut the door, this seems like it's going to hit just a little. So I tried this one, the Z shaped one, on the other side, and for some reason this part here is just a little closer to the actual contour line of the car, and it holds it better and it doesn't hit the top of the door. So for this vehicle, this is a Chevy Volt, I'm going to use the Z style hooks here, and we'll just keep these hooks, because I'm sure there's vehicles that some of them may need the J hook style and some of them may need the Z hook style. Now, there is also a way when you're putting these stainless steel strips on, you have to know which way you're putting them on. Now, the first thing I did is I cut some of this off, and I just, make sure that you're going to leave enough space on here so it leaves some rubber protection on this to not scratch your vehicle. So my thought was I just cut this part in half here. It will stay on there. You can still put it here, but as you start tightening it, it just kind of bunches up there and it makes it a little harder to tighten. So I figured as long as it's got the protection there, I can trim a little bit of that off, and I just got a razor blade and cut that off. Of course, be careful. But when you're doing this, this black piece here goes either direction, but when you're putting it on the hook, like this Z hook I call it, the part that sticks out the top is it's going to go in like this. So you push it in the bottom first, then you slide it through here, and that's why it's got that kind of wave look to it. You push it through the bottom, snap it in, then you twist it over, and then you pull it straight like this. So this part here is going to be facing the top, above the roof of the car, up this way. The actual main strap is going to be back here on the back side. And then when you slide this right here over it, when it hooks onto your car like this, this piece of rubber is covering all that connection and keeping it from scratching up your vehicle. But the other thing you need to look at too is you got to make sure these are in the right position. They kind of point forward or this direction. If you have it this way, it never will tighten up. It'll kind of loosen up. You have to have it like this so the gears can, you know, grab onto this and when you lock it down. So I'm going to go ahead and get it on here. All right, so I did get this put on here, and this kind of acts like a ratchet. So when you undo the lock on this and let this pop forward, you can kind of flip it and ratchet it on. And it will ratchet this again if you have it in the right direction. It looks like it covers well. This one gets pretty close to the door here, but it still seems to be better than the J-hook kind that was here. And I think it's gonna be okay there. And I got it tightened down. I mean, that thing is on there nice and snug. The rubber boots are really nice. They help it hold on. And again, you lock it down so nobody can come over here and just take them off. When you want to take them off, that's what the lock is for. You just flip this little plastic thing up, put the key in, twist it the other direction, and this thing pops forward. So I'm going to go ahead and do the back one now. I'll show you how I slid this in together. All right, so now I'm back here doing the back rail, and I kind of want to show you the process. You put the key in. It does come with 4 keys, but they're all keyed alike. So I'm using the same keys that I use on the front rails. You pop this part here open. This allows you to slide this metal band in the bottom here. And you just slide it all the way in and just make sure you still have enough room here to catch your door sill like this. Then you can use this as a ratchet. Every time you go up one, it clicks it on. And then when you pull it down, it pulls it tighter. Now you don't want to do this too much because it does say to only do it a few times. I'm just going to stop with it right here because you want to do both sides. And I think this is going to be enough for this side. So that key was a little harder to turn because there's some plastic right here sticking up. I don't have it perfectly aligned in that little groove here. Probably need to work on that a little. And then you turn that to cover the key. But now this is put in. Now it's not going to be completely tight over here yet because you got to remember the other side is still loose. So now I got to go tighten the other side. And I tightened this about as tight as I think I should have tightened it. So that way when I tighten that one over here, I don't have to come back and retighten them. If you tighten that one down and it still feels a little loose, remember you can tighten both sides. So if you feel like you put too much tightening over there, you might want to come over here and tighten it some so it's nice and even on both sides. So I'm going to go on the other side now and do that one. So one more thing I did want to add is when you're ready to take these off, you put your key in, you take this bracket back out again, and there's a little plastic piece right here. You'll see the little silver dot. There's a plastic piece. You push up on that as you move it, and it will go up like this. Then when you pull this down here, or when you pull it this way, then you can just grab this and pull it out. So that's how you loosen it. Then when you're ready again, you just stick it back in and retighten it. When you're done though, pulling it out, just flip that plastic back. And there they are, they're on. They're tightened down nice and tight. It does help when you're putting all this together. I had the door open when I was showing you how to do it, but it's actually easier to do it when the doors are closed. You put this where it needs to be, you slide it in there, and then you shut your door on it, and that will allow you to know exactly how tight you need to tighten up each one. And again, these things ratchet to tighten this thing down. Just be very careful with tightening it down too much. You do want to get it to lug this thing pretty good, but again, don't over tighten it because you could end up damaging part of your car. But yeah, these things are on there, man, nice and tight. Definitely going to do what we need to do. We plan on using this to put a couple bikes every now and then and kayaks, but kayaks are the biggest thing that we were going to put on here. And I think all of this is going to work great. All right, well, I hope all this information was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care.